4. Mr. Chris Matthews, running for precinct 2. Chase Broussard is the incumbent, running for precinct 4. And Josh Burrito is running for precinct 2. Come here. You. Yes? I'm gonna let you have a word.
Oh, okay. On me.
Jack Pickett has decided not to put up with the hassle for another 4 years, so he is not running for precinct 2.
No. And I'll just say though, the only thing the main decision for not to run again is because I will be full retirement age, and there's a few other things I'd like to do before I go. So, I mean, it has been an honor, and I would like to say this has been a boring job, but it has not been boring. If you think everything's going pretty good, just hang around a couple of days and something will come up. But we're really working hard here to try to hold the line on your taxes, and that's, to me, that's one of the most important things you look at in a candidate. There's 2 different distinct types of candidates, and some of them that talk that and that they're going to do that, and then their track record don't prove it. But it's all you can do is get in there and try, because we're trying to make sure we keep the county running, and if there's anything else that somebody sees that we can do, you need to come to us and tell us. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you for the Okay, have y'all decided who's gonna go first, who's gonna go second, and so forth?
Nope.
Okay, on your opening, Mark, you may have to help me. 3 minutes on the opening speech. And then if anybody has a question then, or
3 minutes on the opening speech. Sorry, that's my fault. And then from there, for each question, you get a minute and a half to answer it.
Okay.
And then at the end, you'll get 2 minutes to kind of wrap up.
Okay. Y'all want a warning at 30 seconds before we close? Is that good? Okay. Do that.
I never had any trouble talking too long. Okay, let's do something here and get us an order. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. 7 was it. 7 goes first. 6, 5, 3. Start with Josh. You get to go first.
My name is Josh Burrito, running for Commissioner for Precinct 2. I have lived in Clay County all my life. I'm 3rd generation Tamman. I'm here with my wife, Jessica Burrito. We have 2 kids, Hadley and Hayden. I have a little experience with used mechanic, and I've been around heavy machinery for all my life, so bear with me, I'm not good at public speaking. I really here to fight for the future of Clay County, and help in any way I can that is, in my eyes, our commissioner. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Chase Broussard. I'm a precinct 4 commissioner. I'm running for re-election. It's been a fun 7 years. A lot of things have happened the last 7 years. But at first, I do want to thank the volunteer fire department for hosting this tonight. I want to thank my constituents for putting their trust in me to serve them. Also, want to thank my family. You might not know it, but them stressful days, family takes the burden in front of the head. That's who I've been to, and I want to say thank you. Duties of a commissioner are fiduciary beneficiary. That is the most important part of the job. As we've been the last 7 years, we've done pretty good. Hadn't always got my way. I know I'm one of the tightest ones on the court. If not, I believe I am the tightest one. You know, I had one of the ex-commissioners tell me one time he was a little on the other side, and we could get stuff done because we met in the middle. And that's what I am, is one of the conservative voices for you. As kind of to sell that point, when I come into office in this precinct, we had roughly $700,000 worth of debt. It's 600 some thousand. In the last 7 years, we've dwindled that down to about $350,000, $400,000 at this point, but that is with upgrading our equipment. We've upgraded our equipment and still managed to back that debt down. We've also managed to put some money back into a fund balance. Our precinct at this point carries the largest fund balance. Precinct 1 is right there on my tail. I do not think that because we have the money, we need to spend it. And that is idiotic. You don't do that with your own finances, and why would I do that with your finances? This is your money. We spend it wisely. We prepare for our hard times. We know they're coming. Things aren't always green. You know, as a whole county, we've got issues budget issues. We've managed to put money back as a whole. I contributed that to COVID money. COVID was a blessing to the county. I believe it was around $2 million worth that they sent us for Clay County. That directly affects your fund balance. Anyways, we're looking at hard times, and I know that's why I'm your best candidate for the job. We're fixing wind farm is fixing to go off tax rolls, and we learned last week they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. It's a big deal. That's $1.5 million we're looking at maybe losing this year. We've got money stashed back to take care of that, but it won't last long, so we've got to buckle down, and I believe I'm your voice to buckle down and tend to business.
Hey, I'm Chris Matthews, Clay County Precinct 2, running to replace Mr. Jack Pickett.
Is that better, Chase?
There you go.
All right. I'm gonna start off with saying I'm glad to be here tonight with everyone. Glad everyone showed up. I've been married to my wife, Marshetta, 43 years. That's what I'm saying. And I want to come in here and try to do the best that I can do. Jack has done, as far as I can tell, a good job. I've been with him since day one. We want to try to make this transaction with Jack going out. And either Josh or I, either one, are going to have a lot to learn. And, but I firmly believe that I will be the best of your ability, best choice, because I've been around the block. I had 2 jobs for 31 years. Been around a lot of people, dealt with a lot of public. Like Chase said, we're fixing to lose a lot of money. And we're going to be into hard times. I've been through hard times. It hasn't always been roses and cherries. And I would just like to do the best I can do. I'm my own person. I don't like to take advice, not advice, but is somebody telling me something and that's the way it is. I don't believe in that. I believe in the truth. Get out the truth and do the best that we can do. And that's what we're going to continue to do. We're going to do the best that we can do. I appreciate it. Everybody have a great evening. Thank you for the Bellevue Volunteer Fire Department.
I probably don't need this microphone, like I don't talk loud anyway, but I'll go ahead and put it to use. My name's Matt Kelton. Most of you know me. My wife Sasha's the county clerk. My parents, all my parents are here. Danny and Ronna Kelton from Henrietta, and Peggy Browning, who is a Bellevue area native. I've worked for 3 precincts in my lifetime. I started out at 17 years old, working for Wichita County Precinct 1. Learned a lot of things doing that as a teenager. I learned how to show respect towards people. I think that one of the greatest things I learned from the commissioner there at the time was Woody Gosson, is that if you respect your employees, they will do the job that you need them to do. And that is my number one thing, always has been in all my years of dealing with employees or with management or whatsoever. When I was not working for a county government precinct, I was working for the Clay County Leader. Started out actually at the Boone News, covering sports and local government. Went on to the Clay County Leader, where I covered county government. That was one of my main things. So I learned a lot of good lessons on how county government is supposed to work, and a lot of times what happens when county government doesn't work like it's supposed to. After the Clay County Leader, I went on to I started an online newspaper. That was a very new thing at the time, very original. I operated that for 4 years. During that 4 years, I was selected as the Wichita Falls area, as a part of the class of Wichita Falls area 20 under 40. That was 20 area businessmen under the age of 40 that stood out in the area. I was also 1 year selected Clay County Chamber, Henrietta and Clay County Chamber Business of the Year. I've spent a lot of time, I dedicated a lot of time to the Clay County, Henrietta and Clay County Chamber of Commerce. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous, which is not normal. Various other organizations I've donated to. That is my thing in life, is service. I love to serve the community. After we moved to Bellevue several years ago, I've since spent 6 years on the Bellevue School Board, where we oversee a $4.4 million budget. Thank you.
Okay, now I've got a whole list of questions, some good questions. And the way we're gonna do this, I'm gonna start number 1 with Matt, and then go down the line. The next question will be yours, then Chase, and then Josh. We're just gonna go down the line each time I answer these questions. So, Matt, where do you see the budget going in the next 2 years?
As was pointed out earlier, we do have a wind farm that has declared bankruptcy. But we knew that was coming at some point in time. Maybe not a bankruptcy, but we knew that their tax value would fall off at some point in time. That's something that hopefully we were prepared for. I believe we were prepared for. We'll see. On the other hand, tax valuations will continue to rise in this county. In fact, with movement coming in from the Metroplex, growth in this county will always come from the east, not the west, or I guess from the southeast, not the west. With growth coming into this county, you will see increased property values. I know nobody wants to hear that, but that's the way it is. Those increased property values will more than make up for a lot of our losses on that wind farm.
Same question.
Same question.
Yes.
Well, Matt pretty well covered it there about the windmill farm that's gonna cut all the money off. We just got to find another way to try to dig that money up. But we sure don't wanna go with the tax increase. I pay taxes just like all y'all pay taxes. I don't like it any better than you do. But you never know if that will come up, what will come up. Over where we're at, we're fixing to have a little increase over there where they're putting in that AI or whatever it is over there. There were 400 acres sold over there that they're gonna put in living quarters. Then they're gonna I think the way they talk, they're gonna put a housing addition in there. So maybe that will help us out with some more tax dollars. So anyway, that's about all I can tell you.
I believe we've got to be proactive. I believe in the last 7 years, we knew this wind farm was coming to an end. We didn't know it was coming to an end this early. We have stashed the money back. It won't last long. We can't keep our spending habits up. This year we passed a $900,000 deficit budget, burning some cash up that some thought we had too much of. Being that said, I don't know if we have enough. Yes, we work hard for your tax dollars. We try to squeeze the most we can out of it, but yes, I think we're gonna have to buckle down. We all want here pay taxes. We don't like paying any more than we have to. But as that being said, the county still gotta do business. I'm gonna fight to save you everything I can save you, like I have from day one. A lot of times a one vote. I'm a no vote on a lot of things that come up. I believe it's gonna be sold. I don't believe you just come in there and say, hey, I need this. I believe you gotta come in there and sell your product and tell us what you need and make sure it's a need, not a want. I think that's a big problem we have throughout government, from county all the way up to national government. Our needs and our wants, we do not know the difference between. And I think that is something we're gonna have to buckle down and make sure we're doing the right thing for you.
I'm looking at the budget and I'm fine tuning it, making sure that we're putting the money where it needs to go. And I wanna make sure that there's not excessive spending where there shouldn't be. I'm not saying I'm here to cut, but we got to investigate what we're cutting before we make that decision. And I am definitely gonna put a lot of thought into come budget time and make sure that we can provide for where we will be losing. We will be losing money, as they have said, wind farm. That's a big hit for us. Maybe there is a housing district coming in, but it's not gonna make up what we're losing. And there is a point where you gotta look at where you can cut corners and where you're gonna find this money. And I believe if I become commissioner, I will be able to make those fine-tuned decisions, help make the decision, where the money might be made up at.
Okay, Chris, you go first on this question and then we'll follow through. And this is a two-part question. Number one, how much is in your budget? How many dollars are in your budget? Don't know if you even know that or not, because you are not a present commissioner.
That's a true fact. I do not know exactly how much is in my budget.
Okay.
I do not know.
Okay, question, the part that I'm interested in hearing is, what is a reasonable amount to hold in reserve and why?
Well, you know, I really don't know how much it takes to operate this for a full year at a time. I know kind of more about our rock budget than I do anything. Jack has told me quite a bit of that, and we make it stretch. And if I come in here, we're gonna continue to do as we are doing right now. We are working out there every day, but as far as money-wise, I don't know, Judge. I really don't know.
I realize that there may be others that don't know the total budget, so,
But I don't
no
hear
problem
anything.
there for them.
Okay. What would your other part now?
That's all.
Okay.
Repeat the second part of the question.
Second part, what is a reasonable amount to hold in reserve and why?
Our budget is somewhere around $900,000 is what we're gonna bring in. $740,000, $60,000. I haven't looked at it in a few days. But I do budget some of our fund balance in there every year in case of emergencies. Each year, I've done without one employee. I'm your working commissioner. I'm one of the few in the state that we go to a convention and most commissioners do not work. They show up, they line their crew out, if that, and show up at the courthouse every 2 weeks. We're not that. We're not luxury to have that. We work. That's where our savings is at. I do believe in your personal finances. I believe the rule of thumb would be you need to have a year's worth of money stashed away. I don't think the county's much different. Is that a lot of money? Yeah, it's a good chunk of money. But things happen. Life happens. We gotta be ready. If we prepare for the worst and hope for the best,
30 seconds.
we'll always be all right. But if we just fly by the seat of our britches and spend everything that comes in, we're gonna be just like that wind farm. We're gonna be bankrupt. We're gonna be coming to you for more money.
When it comes to the reserves, I would like to have some of our most expensive equipment that we have on the yard, kind of in our reserves. That amount could go anywhere from, like, the blade costs $350,000. And so, say if a blade goes down or something happens that takes away that blade, we want to be able to cover that blade. And of course, how I work up to get that reserve is by bringing my trades that I've learned over the years to this county, which is mechanicing and just preventative maintenance. Really, preventative maintenance goes a long way with the machine. And like I said, they are costly nowadays. The simple tractor, anywhere from 90 to 110. I believe a good blanket in reserves would be good. I don't know if you want me to put an exact number, but I would put somewhere around 500. But that's what I had.
Okay, on our precinct 4 budget right now, Chase has $1.4 million budgeted for expense totals. Commissioners this year increased the amount that they draw out of the general fund from $60,000 to $125,000. So Chase is under budget. I will give him that. He's quite a bit under budget. However, the areas where he's under budget is employee wages, because he has one full-time employee. He's actually slightly over budget on his part-time employees. This is how he finished up 25. Longevity bonus, way under budget. FICA Medicare match, way under budget. Insurance, way under budget. That's employee insurance, way under budget. Road materials, way under budget. $225,000 budgeted for road materials, spent $180,000. So, roads are important. Maintaining roads are important. I'm all about being financially responsible. I'm a super hardcore fiscal conservative. But if you don't maintain your roads, you replace your roads, and that winds up being a whole lot more expensive. Thank you.
Can I get a go back since he made some accusations there?
I think if he just asked questions, you'll have time at the end to comment on anything you want to comment on. Okay, Chase, your turn.
Yeah.
What do you think the court will be able to do as far as restoring the old courthouse?
We've been talking about money ever since we started here. Don't look very promising. We've worked hard at getting the roof on it this last year. Jack took the lead on that, and I'm glad he did. It was a headache from day one. Courthouse is a centerpiece of the county. I don't think we need to turn our back on it, but financially, you're looking at, I think our last estimate was around $15 million to restore it. That's not achievable with us at this point. I don't think the cost has went up, and that was probably 2019 when that cost estimate was done. So, you know what building cost is done, so I don't think if you budgeted 20 million, state does have $10 million grant, it's like a 15% match. We're not there. We have took strides
30 seconds.
a piece at a time. We're trying to go through there and do what we can to restore it and at least preserve it.
I apologize, I don't have enough information to talk on this subject. I'll just go ahead and pass it on down.
Man. Repeat the question. What do you think the court will be able to do as far as restoring the old courthouse?
So the courthouse is something that probably should have been taken care of a long time ago. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth. What was the first year that y'all had? It's been, was it 95, 96, the first year that a study was done on the courthouse?
I came in office in 95, we did a study probably 96 or 97.
Yes. And that study was done at the time when the state was funding a lot of courthouse renovations, where they would take that courthouse and return it completely back to a historical state. Our courthouse has gone through 3 major changes, from a clock tower to a semi-short tower to a dome. The debate for a long time was what to do, what stage to take that back to. And is it worth redoing? I think we're kind of to the point now where we just have to maintain what we have and maybe touch up on it where we can. And I hate to say that because that's a very important building to this county.
Okay, Chris?
I'm with Josh on this one. I'm lost for words because I don't know. So I'm gonna have to pass on this one.
And that's fine. I'd rather have the truth and say I don't know as to give us something and it just be off the top of your head without any knowledge. Okay, next question, and this will be starting with Josh. What plan moving forward as far as employees? Are you still going, and this was primarily aimed for Chase, but it needs to be everybody. Do you plan to use part-time or full-time, and why?
I believe keeping full-time hands are essential. You gotta have a full-time hand. As far as part-time, there's a lot of benefits when it comes to part-time employees. They say it saves a lot of money for y'all taxpayers when you have an employee that's only part-time. It cuts from the insurance. You don't have to pay for the insurance. And it's mostly as needed. They are obligated a certain amount of time in a week, but most of the time, it's people that are just trying to fill the gap for their job. Like they're stepping out of their job and just kind of filling the gap through the week. And it is nice to have them because when things get hairy around here, you're gonna need that hand, but not all the time are you gonna need that hand. And that is one way of cutting corners, saving y'all money
30 seconds.
in tax rate. I mean, that will help us keep from raising y'all's tax rate. So I am all for part-time employees. I'm not saying making a whole crew of part-time employees, but most certainly for part-time employees.
Okay, Matt?
I've probably already made my position on part-time employees pretty clear. I feel like you are hiring people as part-time and then they get stuck in part-time purgatory. They're part-time for, people can't afford to live on a part-time wage. They can't do it. So, if you wanna have hands that know the roads, know the county, know what they're doing, and I'm not saying there's not part-timers that don't know what they're doing, because there are. But if you want your roads to get better and to be well maintained, you have got to have a full staff of full-time hands. Thank you.
Well, I'm not a believer in part-time at all. I know it's cheaper, but I firmly believe as a full-time employee versus a part-time employee, you're gonna get more out of your full-time. He gets his benefits. This part-time gentleman or young lady or whatever you have, they're not gonna be as proud as your full-time employee. We have saw that. Me, Steve, and Jack all have saw that. And it didn't work out for us. I have never had a part-time job. I've been full-time ever since I got out of high school. And I'm just gonna say, I just don't believe in part-time work. I'm a full-time man.
Well, I'm going to strongly disagree. Most all three of them on that case right there. Part-time has benefited this precinct tremendously. You're not always going to find part-time employees. You're not going to. I budget for full-time employees, and I'll try to move my money to my part-time line. Part-time employee works 29 hours a week. Full-time employee works 40 hours a week. That averages out when you take their benefits out as far as their days off, sick days, vacation days, holidays, that you don't pay that part-time. That gets you down to 1,790 hours. A part-time guy works 1,508 hours a year. That being said, that gives me, I can work 4 part-time guys and I can get 116 hours a week out of these guys. These guys are being around, they run equipment. I've been blessed to get guys that know what they're doing. To me, it's idiotic because if I run 2 employees, that's only 80 hours. I'm almost getting a third employee cheaper than what I can. I'm saving your tax dollars. My guys take pride in the road, otherwise they wouldn't be employed in Precinct 4. So that being said, that they do not take pride, they would no longer work here if they did not take pride in their job.
Josh, did I start with you that time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Matt, it's you this time. How many miles of roads are in precinct 4? And then yours will be in precinct 2. You understand what I'm saying? How many miles are in the precinct that you would be responsible for?
We have 227 miles and some change. I think it's actually 227.334 maybe in precinct 4.
Okay, and the rest of the question, what part of the budget is earmarked for these roads?
Anything listed in the budget under precinct 4 expenses is basically earmarked for your road maintenance. Thank you.
How many miles we have?
Right.
I believe it's right in between 120, 130, I think 126 rings a bell in my head. And I could be off a few, but I've been on every one of them, I can promise you that. One end to the other.
Was there this part?
The other part was, what part of the current budget is earmarked for the roads?
Oh, I would say just the gravel, is that what you want me to know?
Well,
Yeah, with gravel, we have to budget for gravel, we have to budget for 10 horns, diesel, equipment, tires, everything for that goes, but, you know, I haven't been on the budget end yet, and I hope I am on the budget end. And, but I firmly believe we're right in about the 120, I know we're in between 120 and 130.
yes.
To be pretty close.
There are a few different lists of roads. So, I don't know if there's an accurate number. Our list we got is 230.5 miles. I don't know where he got his list from, but we certified miles, and they done that years ago, back when Bryce was here and measured them out. Our whole budget goes to your roads. we determine what goes on what road, one, on what's needed on that road. But it also is reflected on how much traffic's on that road. We have roads that used to be feed roads. We didn't have to see them that often. We see them on a regular basis. We got roads that have lots of more traffic. There's houses that have popped up that our demand is scattered out in different areas. It's happening in all precincts. Growth is good, but sometimes it does leave a burden on you as a taxpayer
30
in
seconds.
maintaining your facilities.
I agree. I believe it is 120 to 130 miles in precinct 2. Yeah, our rock budget is a big portion of us over there, and yes, maintenance and on top of fuel costs, but for sure keeping those equipment running and rock on those roads takes a lot of the budget. And I've ran all those roads. I have maintained most of those roads, and to see how long those go, you just drive them. You'll know. It takes quite a bit of money. Is that second part?
Well, second part of the question had to do with the amount of the budget that is put to the roads, committed to the roads.
Okay.
And we're 30 seconds.
As far as I understand, I believe our rock budget is $80,000. And as far as fuel costs, I can't put an exact number, but we'll leave it at that.
Okay, Chris, this is your question coming up now. What will you bring to the commissioner's office?
Well, I'm gonna bring over 40 years of experience with equipment. Not to say I don't run a blade very good at all, very little, none, zero. Steve takes care of that for us, cause he's the best. I drove a truck. I've been in nearly all the lower 48 states of the United States. I basically now run a tractor for us quite a bit. I mow. I've done a little bit of road bossing. I drive truck mainly. So yeah, I've been on every road, one end of the other to that road. And that's just about all I have.
Chase. Question again.
I done answered that, didn't
What experience do you have? Or what, no, excuse me, what will you bring to the commissioner's office?
I bring experience. I've been here 7 years, working on my eighth year of being your commissioner. You don't learn nothing overnight. You can't read a book and tell you how to do it. You learn from experience. You learn from your peers. I was blessed when I come into office. I had 3 peers that had lots of experience, and they took me under their wings. They showed me the ropes, showed me the do's and don'ts. I still talk to them on a regular basis. You gotta have an open mind. I talk to each of the commissioners throughout the state. There's commissioners that join this county that we talk on a regular basis, and we talk about maintenance, and we talk about things that are going on in the county. I think experience, an open mind, and a conservative value. I think that's what I'm bringing most to the table is the aspect of pinching pennies. You save 100 of them, you got $1, and it's on a small scale, but it happens in this county budget too. Everyone we can pinch, we can push that to the next budget.
What I can tell you I can bring to this county as a commissioner would be working my tail off. I'll continue to be a working commissioner, and I do have experience on a blade. I do have experience running a tractor. I can mow, I can excavate, I got all this experience with heavy equipment that say new hire will come in, I can teach that new hire. And, I would also like to say that transparency, anything that goes in that court, I'm gonna be honest about. I'm not gonna be a follower, for sure. I'm not gonna just go with the flow. I'm gonna be against the grain, and, where I need to be against the grain. I can tell you, I'll be the right one to let you know exactly what's going on.
So I think what I would bring to the table is just a sense of civility. That's something that we're lacking right now in county government, and it's not just this commissioner's court. It's over the last several years. Things in county government have gotten really ugly, and that needs to come to an end. Because when you have a lot of ugliness going on, a lot of undercutting, and a lot of backstabbing and sneaking around and doing this and doing that, it doesn't hurt so much the other officials that this is going around about. It hurts the county as a whole. If people can't get along and at least be civil, you don't have to agree with somebody, but you need to be civil in your disagreement. If you can't do that, you're affecting the whole county. Now, the other things I bring to the table is I can run any piece of equipment in that yard right there. Now, is that the most important thing? No. The most important thing is to be able to oversee and manage a government that's going to work for the people, and I can do that. Thank you.
Chris? Did you start that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought you did. Okay. I get caught up in listening and forget where I'm at. What experience do you have operating heavy equipment and working on roads? And this is almost the same question we just did, but starting with the case this time, Chris.
Like I said, I've got 7 years of being here. Yeah, we run every piece of equipment, but as growing up, you work out here on farm, what have you, you run equipment, worked in feed mill, you know how to maintain equipment. Question was, how we gonna run it? Is that right, Ken?
The question was, what experience do you have operating heavy equipment?
So yes, most of the time I'm in your truck. That's been the hardest thing to keep as a truck driver. People want to run equipment. I don't blame them. I fit in where it's needed. Been on the blade this week. It's the commissioner's job to do what's needed. Week 4, I was in the shop. Me and Robert were doing maintenance. We was greased from head to toe, changing oil. But as far as running equipment, there's nothing that cannot be run, and we run it in a manner that we take care of it, we don't abuse it, and we try to make it last as long as we can.
As far as my experience, I've been around heavy equipment, like I said, most of my life. So as far as harvesting machines, truck driving, I've hauled silage. My recent experience is with an excavator. I do know how to run a motor grader and, of course, a tractor as far as mowing, and we have what's called a road boss that you drag behind it. It also helps maintain roads. I am a CDL Class A holder. Mechanic, but you know that's here and there. Every shop kind of does that. Machinery, I don't think there's anything on the yard that I can't run, and something that I can't run without confidence. If I didn't have confidence, I wouldn't be in the machine. That's what I got.
So I think I covered this a little bit while ago. When I I was 17, Johnny Costello, who was the foreman at Wichita County Precinct 1. I don't know if any of y'all knew Johnny, he was a pretty good guy. Johnny told me, he said, "You're gonna be running that bobtail truck over there." I said, "Johnny, I'm 17. He said, "I don't care." He said, "You see that county sticker on the side?" He said, "You'll be all right." So I drove that bobtail truck all over East Side, Wichita Falls. Our yard was on Lincoln Street. So I drove that thing all over East Side, Wichita County, out by the sewer plant, all River Road. I mean, there's some wild places over there. Anyway, so that just kind of where I first got my little bit of experience. And like I said, I can run anything on that yard. Of course, when I was 17, those were different times. I don't think I could hire a high school kid to do that now. But yeah, running equipment is not the thing we need to be using to decide who we want to elect as our commissioner. Thank you.
Like I said a while ago, I cannot run a blade, and I will be the first to admit that I cannot do it. I have got Steve and Josh both run. Steve is the best in the county. There's no doubt, by far, bar none. He's the best. And they ain't gonna let me get on that thing and tear them roads up. But I can haul that rock as fast as anybody can and get it up there to him. I grew up in Montague County until I married Marchetta 43 years ago. So, you know, I was raised in Ringo. A lot of farming, ranching went on up there. I was sitting on a tractor about the time I was about 10 years old. When Marchetta first got married, I was working for a gentleman who had bulldozers, scrapers, maintainers, all that. I worked for him for, 2.5, 3 years. And I always wanted to drive a truck. Lordy, what I get myself into. But anyway, I can, if I set my head to it, I can run that dadgum maintainer, I promise you. Thank you.
Okay, next question, and this has to do with your policy or your thoughts. And I've got 3 separate areas for you to answer. EMS, fire, and law enforcement, starting with Chase.
That's a triple-edged sword right there. EMS is vital to your community. When you need them, you need them. It is a kind of losing proposition. We have, in this budget, we budgeted $500,000 to offset the loss on the EMS. We're hoping we do not have to spend that $500,000. We are getting monthly reports on where that money is spent. We're gonna get extra time for 3 questions. Okay. Anyway, so EMS is great. It is run under the hospital. The board does oversee that EMS, the facilities over there. As far as the commissioner goes, all we do is supplement the hospital to take care of it. Now, the other one's fire department.
Fire department.
Your fire department, you got 2 in Clay County that are taxing districts. The rest of them are volunteer only. They live off your donations. County, I believe, gives about $4,000 a year to each department to help pay insurance and just yearly costs. They're vital to your community. You don't really appreciate it till you need them. And when you need them, they're usually there. And these guys are working, and they all got jobs. Some of them are retired, and they're the first ones on the scene. And then sheriff's office. Your sheriff's office, as any county, it's your biggest budget. It's almost $3.5 million to run that sheriff's office. It's vital to your community. I believe there's ways we can save money within that office. That comes during budget sessions. They are vital. I think there are things we can do to get more out of less. I believe we do have some good employees, some good people over there. We just got different ideas about how to go about doing business. as one of your conservative on the court, I'm looking at all costs. You know, we got a lot of vehicles in that department. At one point, we had 36 vehicles in the sheriff's office. We're looking
30 seconds.
to be down to about 28. That's a lot of overhead. That don't necessarily affect your employees. You can talk more about raises if we cut in certain areas. We can't, every department can't have everything they want, and that's what we've got to get a hold of.
May I hear the question again? Can I hear the question again?
Question, what is your policy or your thoughts concerning 1, EMS, 2, fire departments, and 3, law enforcement?
In 3 minutes.
Okay, I apologize, I don't know a whole lot, when it comes to, EMS, but I do know we are losing revenue when it comes to EMS. And I'm not saying we need to get rid of it by all means, but let's try to find a way to improve that. That's what I'll say on EMS. Fire department. Fire department, definitely vital to Clay County, how wide it is. Fire department, I've seen fire department countywide coming to one fire that's getting out of hand, and that's great. So by all means, we need to invest as a county in our fire volunteer fire department. Any donations? Sheriff's department, I'm really not going to speak on the sheriff's department because, to be honest, I don't know much about their budget, and I'll leave it at that.
And Matt?
Okay, EMS, fire department, and sheriff's office, okay. So, I'll address the EMS first. EMS is definitely always gonna be a money-losing proposition. It's just the nature of it. The question then becomes, how much is it worth when you need it? And that's not really a question you can answer. I mean, it's just not. So the county does subsidize, to some extent, the EMS. In the past, I want to say the subsidy was $150,000 annual. That subsidy has been replaced with a contingency fund of $500,000. I think that's a smart idea. It sounds like a lot of money, but a contingency fund in place of a subsidy may cost you less in the long run if they can keep their expenses down. Now, like I said, EMS is always a money-losing proposition, so them being able to keep that under $500,000, I don't know if that can happen. We'll have to, it's just one of those things, we gotta wait and see. VFDs, fire departments, I don't think that we can thank our local VFDs enough. I know I've had to deal with them, I've had them on my place, that was not a good day. And I don't know very many people that at some point in their lives have not had to have the VFD, you know, in their area. It's not a fun thing, but I can't thank them enough. Sheriff's Department. So, I think the Sheriff's Department should be treated like any other department of the government, of our local county government, any other office. The Texas State Constitution says that all offices are independent of each other. You elected the sheriff just like you elected any other office. You elected that sheriff with the belief that he was the best person to do what, to administer, to be the administrator of that office. Commissioners, on the other hand, we are overseers of the county's business. We are not managers of the county business. We are overseers of the county's business. Therefore, it is best left up to the sheriff to administer his office as he sees fit. You elected him to be the administrator. We should respect that and not use the budget to micromanage his office. Thank you.
Kind of like they've all said, the EMS, gotta have. Volunteer fire departments, gotta have. Thank God for volunteer fire departments and the EMS, because when you need one or the other, you gotta have. Just like the sheriff's office. But there you see our deputies just sitting all over the county, they're doing this, and well, why can't Josh and I do that, you know? Why, where be Chase running them down the highway? He's sitting over drinking coffee, but it is what it is. But we gotta have them all at the end of the day. Thank you.
Okay, Josh, this time I will ask you, I think I got out of order and asked Chase first, put 2 rounds in a row. But Josh, how does electing you benefit the county?
As I mentioned several times, I bring a lot of trades to the county. Got 30 years, just knowledge, and I'm really gonna invest in as much as I can and the best that I know how. And honestly, take something to the shop nowadays. It costs lots of money. Me and my wife, not too long ago, we bought a Tahoe, and we were proud of this Tahoe. And within a month of us having that Tahoe, 2022, we thought nothing of it. Comes out to have air conditioning problems. Just a simple air conditioning problem cost us $3,000. Let's fast forward 2 more months down the road. Remind you, 2022 Tahoe, the whole front end goes out of whack. $5,000 off the fix. So, yes, now you're just talking about a simple Tahoe. Let's talk about a maintain, something that costs $350,000. What do you think it's going to cost to come in there and say they'll have to machine something out? We're talking anywhere from 10 to 15 grand. Simple tires for a maintain, that's well over $1,200 a tire. So anything that comes to equipment for the county, it's going to be a lot of money. I'm not saying that I can make tires, but I can cut the cost of some of that by labor.
Okay, time. Matt? Okay, if I can find it. How does electing you benefit the county?
So, I think electing me would benefit the county, just because I have a belief that if the best way to do business with your, with other offices and so forth, is to let people step back and let people do their jobs. Micromanaging does nothing. I would fall back on my experience on the Bellevue School Board. So on the Bellevue School Board, in 6 years, we went from a budget of $2.2 million to $4.4 million. Now, a lot of that has to do with that brick plant out there. That brick plant has been a huge blessing to us. But you think, okay, so y'all just buy whatever you want. No, that comes with a whole lot of growing pains. With that $4.4 million budget, we've also increased our student population from 130 kids to 190 kids. We've added, different things. We've basically rebuilt the school. But we were able to do all that because we hired the right people, put the right people in place. They managed our money well. We oversaw that, but we stepped back and allowed them to do the job we hired them to do. Thank you.
One more time. Okay. How does electing you benefit Clay County?
Now, about, what would it be, 50 years worth of experience? I've been up and down the road that mile or two. I've learned I had my own truck for a while. I knew how to save money. My wife would knock me in the head if I had to do something. I got off one time and blew the tire off in Arkansas. You have to buy a recap tire in Arkansas that cost you $400. Now that was a kick, but I had to have it. And I learned right then, I have got to manage my money well, or I will not be in business long. And, just because that old truck right on maintainer may need a tire or a set of tires, maybe with my experience, we can stretch them babies out another 30 to 45 days. So, let's just keep doing what we're doing, gentlemen.
Okay, I wanna say thank you to each one that give us, oh, you haven't yet, I'm sorry.
We've had so many,
Okay, the question, one more time. How does electing you benefit the county?
blood, sweat, and tears. I show up every day, even when hands are off, we're there working. Just last week, me and Robert changed 20 tires by ourselves. That's several $100 if we took them to town. That's what we gotta do. Budget wise, electing me, like I've told you multiple times tonight, I'm your conservative one on the board. I'm the one that's most conservative here on the ballot. We got a big problem with determining the difference between micromanaging and managing. I don't know if y'all know what the difference is, but micromanaging is telling you how to spend every dollar. Managing is determining that budget and setting the budget and making sure it's spent the way that it was budgeted for. We're not micromanaging, we're trying to manage your dollars.
30 seconds.
Each dollar that comes in there, we're trying to make sure it's spent on the right ways. Where the court has come and what the accusations are coming out are ways that the county, the court, has said, no, we're not doing a line item budget transfer because this money was set aside. We had budget time to set this budget and we're gonna stick to it. There are cases where we do have to do line item budget transfers, but we don't have to do them in all cases.
Okay, now back to me giving you my speech. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. Thank you for the best set of questions that I've seen in any of these candidate speakings in 30 years. Good questions. I've got one more. Matt, you're gonna do this, and I'm gonna give you about 15 to 20 seconds apiece. It's not gonna take you long. Especially for the other three. Okay. What is your current employment and how long have you been so employed?
Well, that's a funny thing. I was laid off not very long ago from oil field, so that's my current employment status. Luckily, I had enough money put back in savings that I could continue to do this and take care of myself and my family, so thank you.
I've been here 3 years and a month and a half. Other than that, I was in 2 jobs for 31 years. And plan on being a commissioner.
Hey, you do work for Clay County. Okay, that's what I wanted you to say.
I'm employed by you, all 11, I believe it was right at 11,000 of you. We answer to you, and that's who we're employed by. I've had 2 jobs in my life that I'd say that were actually 40-hour work week jobs. I've had lots of side jobs, but I've done this and I run a family business until I got elected. So been here 7 years.
Most of my employment years were definitely a diesel mechanic, and I would say a little bit of propane, some silage. I went on harvest for a couple of years, and I was an apprentice lineman at one point. Actually, right before I got hired on here at the county. And I've been at the county for 2 years now, and working out there. And hopefully I can get voted in as commissioner.
Okay, now summation. And we're gonna start with Matt. You get 2 minutes. Summation, any questions or thoughts that you had about another speed, that's where you get to bring it up.
So, I guess really the only conflict I had as far as anything that was said that I said that Chase disagreed with was, county road mileage. I got my numbers from, the list of county roads, what was most recently. I'm the term here. Anyway, it's the most recent list of county roads, and it includes roads, or it does not include a couple of small roads that have to be closed and are no longer public roads. So, that's where I got that. In summation, I'd like to thank you for all coming out. I've been a part of this community for a long time. Even when we lived in Henrietta, where I was raised, we were still part of this community. My mother's family, the Browns, from here for 150 years now, really. So, just thank you all for coming out, and I would like to see some civility return to county government. I would like to see a county government that can work together instead of against each other. We've had enough infighting. It's time to get all that out of the way. Let's just move on. Thank you very much.
Oh, I tell you, I'm gonna be a hard worker, and I am, and I will continue to work hard for this county. And my employees will be right there side by side with me, and I'll be side by side with them, assuming that I win. Because I will have some good men. Jack's got 3 good men. And we have got a good commissioner, Mr. Jack Dickett. Hate to see him go out. But I would like to thank everyone for showing up, coming out. If you want a grassroots, hard-working man, I'll be your man for this job. Thank you.
Closing statement altogether? Okay. So, there's a couple things that have kind of come up that I want to touch real quick, and I'll give you my closing statement. Yeah, our budget is over $1 million. I budget cash in there for a reason. That reason not to spend it. Just because it's in the budget don't mean we gotta spend it. I make sure we're trying to come in under budget every year because I don't believe we need to try to make budget. I think we need to try to come under budget. Yes, the precincts did take more money. There was some push by certain elected officials that we burned through some cash in the budget, drawing interest. Commissioners decided unanimously between all 4 commissioners that the precincts were gonna take some more money. That is to pay off debt. We knew we were going into hard times. To me, paying your debt service off and getting that down to a minimum rate, we're not luxury to have that 2.5% interest like we had in the past. We're paying closer to 6. So, paying that off takes your liabilities off the books. It just frees up a lot of money to do business. In closing, over the past 7 years, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this job. I work for you every day. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to serve you. I'm asking you, as taxpayers, voters of this precinct, don't only just represent this precinct, but represent the county as a whole. I ask you for your vote. I know I'm the one for your job. I work hard every day for you. I hope you're satisfied with me. You can't make everybody happy. That's the worst part about this job. Some people are gonna hate you or whatever you do. But you show up to work every day, you do the best you can, and you go home, lay your head down at night, and hope they see that you're working hard. I just ask you today that as you go to the box on March 3rd, that you'll check Chase Bruce or Precinct 4. Thank y'all.
I know I'm not the best public speaker, and I do believe that will come over time. I do believe I am fit for this job. I bring a lot of experience in a lot of the trades, along hard work. And, I know I didn't mention it, but, being out in the oil field taught me a lot. And that is pretty much, things don't come easy. And, with that, I would say, I'm gonna be 100% transparency on anything that goes on in the courthouse. I plan to, I apologize. I plan to work hard, and every day, even if days are not scheduled for me to be out there, I'm gonna be out there, whether it be on a machine or just simply talking to somebody that has a concern about the road or a concern about something that's going on in the courthouse. I'll be open ears. I won't shut nobody out, and I'll make sure that things will get done. If not, I'll try to find the best path to get that done. I'm easy to work with, very understanding, but
Very safe.
to an extent, I'm not a follower. Thank you.
Let me once again say thank you for coming. I'm fixing to do something now, probably get me slapped. But Sharon, would you stand up? Sharon Atkins has been our timekeeper tonight. She is the Republican chair for Clay County, and I'm gonna let her make a speech.
I just want to tell y'all, thank y'all, I appreciate y'all coming out. We have such an opportunity here to expand on the Republican Party. We serve around 95% of our county as Republican conservative voters. And I don't think people realize how important it is. We kind of take for granted that we're going to be red, and that this county is going to stay red no matter what. One thing that's facing us in that, where we have to continue to think about we're always going to stay red, think about our counterparts. Think about the Democratic Party. They are pushing right now for Jasmine Crockett. Do y'all want to see Jasmine Crockett be your state representative? I don't think anyone does. So even though we realize that it might not be important for our vote for that day, but you have to think about the fact that we offset some of these blue county votes. So every vote is vastly important. And so I just, please make sure you turn out, and either early vote, we start on the 17th, for early voting, and then primary is March 3rd. And y'all are welcome to call me if anyone wants to volunteer with the party. We're starting grassroots. We've got new precinct chairs that are coming in for the first time. We're gonna have precinct and county convention, for the first time, and take delegates to the state convention this year that we've never done before. So we're real excited about that. And we'd love for anyone else to join us that wants to.
Okay, first of all, thank y'all very much for coming out. We appreciate the donations you gave us, because like they said, we do survive on donations. I think we made like $680, which is great, because we really didn't expect to make much money. We did this as a service. And for all the elected officials that showed up, thank you. I know y'all do it for the big paychecks and not all the headaches, but I know. But I'm sure these guys will be around a little bit if y'all got to want to talk to them individually. Also, one last thing, Bellevue, we do our big fundraiser. We have Blue Tower Days coming up April 4th. And we got things, if anybody likes a fun run, that's an oxymoron in my book, but they start out with that, and we go all day, and then we wind up with the fish fry at night, which is our big fundraiser for the year, and then we'll have a street dance afterwards. So, thank you very much for coming out. We appreciate it, and I hope you have a great evening. Oh, one last thing, there's some leftovers up there. If anybody's interested, please take them home so they don't wind up in my refrigerator.